Well, it starts with the written word. It starts with what the author has given you to read on the page. You're looking for clues about who this person is, and the process that this person is involved in. What kind of experiences is this person going through, and how does he or she react to these conditions? Is this a volatile person? Is this there are clues in the writing, hopefully. Is this a volatile, emotional person? Is this a subdued person, a quiet person, reflective, thoughtful? What's the social condition under which this person is functioning? Is it a stressful situation, or is it a funny situation? Does this person have a sense of humor? Or are people always commenting on the fact that he or she never laughs? There are clues, hopefully, in the text. And each scene calls for a certain kind of understanding from the actor's point of view about what the spine of the scene is supposed to be. What is the scene supposed to accomplish in the play? I say play, I mean teleplay, screenplay, whatever play it is. This is the scene where they get to know each other. Well, okay, then let's see what happens in that process. These two people are kind of feeling each other out, where were you born? Might be a question in the scene. I came from Indiana. Oh, farm girl? No, we lived in the city. My father was an accountant. You start to learn things about each other. Maybe there's some charming kind of interplay going on. What's the subtext? Very important. What's the subtext? The subtext is a question of the unspoken. We're looking for the unspoken. Very important that we try to layer the performance in such a way that it's not just the words that are being exchanged, but there are nonverbal signals being given. You can take a line of dialogue, the simplest example, like, I love you. One character says to another, I love you. Is there a way to say I love you? There are 1,000 ways to say I love you, depending on what you are really trying to communicate. If you've been having an argument with this person, or this person has been doubting your feelings, you might say, I love you. If you're just simply saying it for the very first time and want to express it as a genuine feeling of love, you say, I love you. It's quite different. The subtext is different. The intention is different. What's the intention of the line? All of these things are techniques that you study. The camera is, if you are in a proper production where you have the appropriate sound equipment and camera equipment, relieves you of the burden of having to project to a distance. Stage, the closest audience may be, well, in some cases just a few feet away, or as much as 20 or 30 feet away, front row. If you're working in a small theater, in a circle theater, whatever, you might have audience immediately close to you, but still you have a back row that has to hear you and see you. Camera's much more intimate. Camera's right here. And camera can capture thought in a way that's quite surprising and shocking. And you can become minimalist. You can become very, very simple and minimal in your work and communicate a lot with just a finger or an eyebrow or a look or a glance. So you are relieved of the burden of projecting quite so much. I have found that for me, I do better work if I'm in between takes, if I stay in touch with the work, with the material, and with the character. I can be distracted and get lazy sometimes and make a phone call that get into business, and then suddenly find myself, oh God, wait a minute, where am I? I got to go back and do a scene. Where were we? Who was I? and what condition am I supposed to be in when I walk back in there? And that's not great. And in fact, one of the difficulties in doing movies, if you've been used to a television schedule, is that there are much longer lighting periods, much longer preparation periods for each shot when you do a movie. The production tends to be more expansive, therefore it takes more time to set up each shot than in television. In television, the pace is faster, so you're in touch with the character much more constantly. You don't have much time to get out of character, and they're ready for you again. Come on, we're ready, let's shoot, please. Whereas you might finish a part of a scene in a movie, and 2 or 3 hours later, they're ready to continue the scene because of some major production setup. So if you're going to get out of character, you better start thinking about the character again some minutes before it's time to go back to the set. Whereas in television, there isn't that much time anyway. So you're much more likely to be in touch with it.